All right, so we got all the stuff that we need to do stuff and things. So we've got heat shielding for the fuel lines. We've got coolant expansion tank. I have the heater hose up there, so we're good there. We got the bar to weld in behind, well, the bumper's on, but basically between the frame rails to make the intake clear better. Got everything. So yeah, we're just gonna jam out on this thing today. This is going to be probably the worst part, doing the heat shielding on the fuel lines. Because there's still going to be fuel in them, and I got to take them off, and then it's just going to pour fuel everywhere all over me. Last time I did that, it went like, I was trying to loosen it, and it kept going down my arms, and it just like ran down my arms all the way into my armpits. Oh, it's terrible. So rough. My armpits are on fire. I don't know what to work on first. I really don't. The expansion tank's probably going to take a little while because we got to make a bracket and all that stuff. The welding and stuff's not going to be that hard. It's just I'm going to get covered in metal shavings. The fuel line, heat shielding is going to kind of suck because we're going to get covered in fuel. All of this ends up me being dirty and gross and covered in fuel and metal, so just pick my poison, I guess.
That giveaway, and you could be like me, Taylor Ray.
Is that enough hype for you guys? I never remember to mention my Patreon.
You driving that for only, I don't even know how much an entry
$5
is.
an entry, brother. Yeah, guys, I haven't shown you guys this thing in a long time. Giveaway is almost done. As soon as we get the Miata out of here, which is today's the last day, so Thursday will be, or whatever day, we'll be taking it to paint. This thing's going in, we're pulling the trans out of it, we're gonna get it rebuilt. I was gonna just buy a transmission, but like price-wise, it makes more sense for me to just rebuild it because then I know it's good. I'm not taking the gamble of buying a junkyard trans for just as much money as it would cost to rebuild it. Maybe have lower mileage, sure, but who knows if it's gonna last. And I wanna make sure like it's solid before someone takes it. I don't want you guys to have any issues with it because I bought a bum trans. So anyway, vet giveaway link below and Patreon link below. A couple of people have been commenting.
Like, just look at it.
A bunch of people have been commenting that I need to share my Patreon more and talk about it. I do have a Patreon. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel, we do early releases and stuff on there. We're working on doing more cooler stuff on there, like exclusive content and all that. Link to that will be below. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, what I was gonna say before I was excitedly interrupted. Excitedly. We gotta add some excitement to the videos, brother. Oh, I said it. We're bailing on this expansion tank idea. Because one, with the fittings, it has to be huge to get the right size barb for this, and it's just a mess. So there's one that's like basically this exact same shape, but half the height, and just has, I can basically thread a barb fitting into the bottom. It's kind of confusing. I'll show you guys when we get there, but this isn't gonna work. It's too tall, and it's kind of just a mess to try to make it work with the fittings and what I have. So we're gonna send her back. It ain't gonna work for us. Okay, moving on. I guess we're gonna do the crappy part of putting all this line insulation. Hopefully, this might not be big enough. Probably not gonna. Why do I do this to myself? Why? This is definitely not gonna be big enough. Not to go over the lines with the fittings on them. I'm gonna try, but I don't think this is gonna work. Just kidding. I just tested it, and it will go over the fitting. It's very stretchy. Nice and stretchy. So we good. Thankfully, one thing we don't have to return. All right, well, I got the fuel line disconnected, but man, it was a mess. It's one of those things with these cars where sometimes like they don't, like you can take the fuel line off and it's fine, and then sometimes it just siphons its way out. Like it just pretty much just drained the tank. Luckily, I only had like a couple gallons in there. But anyway, we got the return one off, so I can go ahead and heat shield this. I put the heat sleeving over it, and then we'll do the feed. We're gonna have to do the feed from the top because it runs the full length, for those of you who don't know. That's one of the things that I've been kind of dreading doing, so I'll be happy to have this project over with. Project. All right, that took a lot of time, but we got all the heat shielding done. So we got it on the return line, the feed line, kind of see it. All the brake lines, so the one going to the rear, which was the main one, well, that's this one. It goes down and all the way back to the rear. It went by the exhaust and everything, and then this one and the one on the driver's side both get pretty close to the header. So wrap those as well. I look like a hot boy with all my heat wrapping in my engine bay. Look like a rich kid. So now we need to bleed the brakes because that is like one of the main things preventing me from like actually driving this thing around. I don't have brakes, and it'd be nice to have that before we go take it to paint tomorrow. I need to take the front bumper off. This is the main thing I need to do. Take the front bumper off, weld the bar in, get that set up so I can put the intake on. So we're gonna do now. Ben's being a very good supervisor.
As good as Sandy.
Almost as good as Sandy. Sandy's been I think she's on the porch. Sandy! just the right amount of overhang, top, bottom, side to side, to get some weld in there, and then we can kind of rough out the edges basically. That's my plan, at least. I'm not much of a fabric cobbler. I really need to build a welding cart. But we got the weld hair hooked up. We got everything ground down, so we're gonna start tacking the pieces on. I had to drop the radiator to weld the backside, but plates are welded on. These welds look okay. Oh god, it's so bright. Yeah, not bad. I haven't MIG welded in a while. It's super easy though. MIG welding is way easier than I think people think it is. I kind of smoothed out the edges, so now we'll just cut the bar, weld it in, paint, spray some paint, put the radiator back in. Box is not even hitting it, which is sick. Hood closes. There's like the tiniest little gap on the side, but we can massage that out because I wasn't sure if I would need to use a piece of angle so this could go down even further, but it's not the limiting factor anymore, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's all tacked in. I'm gonna weld it out. We can paint it. We can put the intake on. Have I mentioned how nice it is to have a lift? It was just nice to be able to lift it up and get these bottom welds. Let's see if I can show you guys. I haven't shown you guys my welds on anything in a long time. They're solid though. Nothing too spectacular. Not terrible either though. Paint it and then we'll put the radiator back in and move on. I'm gonna get back to work. Ta-da! All right, guys. Whew. That is it for this part of the project. Corvette intake just looks so cool in there, especially when you know how massive it actually is of an intake. Beautiful. Okay, we're moving on to bleeding the brakes. We were going to use this super sick power bleeder, but Ben lost the cap for Miatas.
I'm sorry.
I can't complain because I lost the cap on the thing that I wouldn't have had otherwise. So we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. Hopefully I have enough brake fluid. We're having trouble getting the brakes to bleed. Ben's going to, I think, adjust the pedal. I bench bled the master on the car. It didn't seem to help anything. It's moving the calipers, both the rears, the front left. It won't move the front right. Weird. It seems like it's leaking because you can't get a firm pedal, but I don't know what could be leaking. Don't make sense. Okay, we got the brakes bled. We'd pretty much given up after bench bleeding the master, and then we went at it for a little longer. She's good to go. Rock hard pedal. We're both over it and we're both tired and covered in brake fluid. So tomorrow I'll show you guys the wheels, which will be this in like 2 seconds. Okay, bye.
Flying without any filler.
All right, Ben is practicing his TIG welding, trying to learn. There you go. Do a couple more. Try to keep them like start up here maybe, or further back, whatever you want. Try to make a straight line and then go like right on the edge of that line. I haven't TIG welded in a while, so I decided to practice some TIG welding tonight, and I was like, Ben, you should try it, because it's a lot harder than it seems like it's going to be, but it's really rewarding when you start to get the hang of it. I'm going to go ahead and mount this bench grinder that I've had forever so I can sharpen tungsten. Definitely not the ideal way to do it, but I ain't no pro welder, so it doesn't really matter. But I've had this forever. My friend Taylor got it for me for Christmas. Okay, so the thing that I've been delaying showing you guys for a while, the wheels. We finally test fitted them. Oh, I'm so hyped. So hyped. They like really transformed the look of this car. So let me show you the old wheels first. These are the Koenig Hypergrams. They're solid wheels. They look good on Miatas. The fitment's dialed. I mean, they're solid. They're good wheels. But take a gander. Pachow! So these are legit SSR RS8-2s, 15 by 8, plus 19 offset. Right now they have 225s on them. I'm gonna run 205s, so they're a little meatier than they're gonna be because like it's literally sticking out past the fender. So with 205s, they should be dialed, especially in the front because it sticks out a good bit. But man, I'm not a huge fan of the face style. Like I like real Watanabes, and Ben made a good point. In like 14s, these look solid, but in 15, the spokes, it's just like elongating it. They look a little goofy, but they were a really good price, especially for Miata fitment. Miata size, like real JDM 3-piece wheels. Steve's boss had them. And like the look of the lips is just killer. It's just killer. I'm just so hyped. Like I keep, every time I look at it with these wheels on it, it just makes me happy. I love seeing the pie cut exhaust tip with the wheels, with that stance, and then seeing the LS in the engine bay. Like guys, I'm so hyped on this car. I'm just so hyped that it's legitimately like pretty much done. It's just, I can just stand out here and stare at it for hours, and it's not even painted. It's, you know, it doesn't even have the front lip on it right now, but just seeing it at this point, it's just so sick. So what do you guys think of the wheels? Let me know in the comments below. Ideally, I'd like to find some Longchamps or some work equipped 40s or something like that for my like full set of cool looking wheels, and then have these as drift spares, so I'll still have legit spares, so the car will be full legit. I have nothing against like knockoff wheels or anything. It's just like, especially with Miatas and 240s and stuff, you see so many of them with XXRs and Rotas and like all these knockoff wheels, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm like, I put so much time and effort into making this like a solid build. I want to run real wheels, like legit wheels with nice fitment and whatever, not run spacers because the sizing's not right. Like, anyway, I mean, I actually am running spacers in the front because I have to clear the angle, but that's not besides the point. I'm just hyped. I'm so hyped. Man, I have an LS Miata, guys, that runs and drives and has cool wheels. Like, it's just so cool. It's just so cool. Ben's got Eric's car in the shop. We were too lazy today to work on it. My girlfriend came over, I hung out with her. I helped her do some stuff, like fix some stuff on her truck. And then we just been like farting around. You know, we've just been a very chill day, but probably tomorrow he'll be pulling the transmission out of that. If you guys didn't see the video of us tanning, you can see all the sick door tap marks from me. It was a killer event. We had a blast until we blew his transmission up. If you haven't seen that video, you should watch it. It's like real good tandems. But anyway, I'm really hyped on the wheels. I'm curious your guys' thoughts. If you're in the same boat as me, you don't really care for the faces, but you like the size or whatever. If you have any cool Miata spec wheels for sale, or have found some for sale or whatever, let me know. I really want to buy like another full set of wheels that would be like my daily wheels, even though, if you guys know what I mean. Like I run them all the time so the car looks cool wheels. But I've just never built a car from the ground up. See this dual caliper bracket, dual calipers poking through. It just, anyway. Oh God. That's not good. You're doing something wrong.
It's got,
you don't have an argon on.
I've welded.
All right, well, I guess that's going to be it for today's video. It's kind of a short one, I think. I always say that, and then I get to editing, and it's like a super long video. But that is going to be it. Tomorrow we take the car to paint, so I'll show you guys that process. Probably going to be delayed a day or so, but I'll show you guys kind of what our plans are for the paint and all that. We're going to paint it like this with stock bumpers, and then potentially get a kit and just paint it after the fact. But that way I have both, so it'll work out. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Say bye, Tigmaster Ben.
See you later.